Canada wins 5-3, and it was a must-win game, Clay. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing today?
Trev, always happy to be with you. Even happier after a 5-3 victory. I'm not sure how it went from 4-0 to 5-3 in the span of 6 minutes, but hey, it doesn't matter. We needed to win in regulation, and we did.
Well, the great news is not only is it a must-win game, but they had to win in regulation, and they got the job done. And the big news for me today coming out of this game was the Stars came to play. The Stars came to play. They showed up. They carried this team. It's kind of really refreshing to watch because as Canuck fans, sometimes that doesn't happen, Clay. And so McKinnon gets the first star of the game. Crosby finishes off the panic at every Canadian's feeling. It's like, no, we can't let this go into overtime. And McDavid is McDavid. I mean, I don't know what to say. Those three guys were unbelievable. What are your thoughts about today's game? And we're really glad that everyone's in the chat. Take a moment to hit the like and subscribe, not only on this, but also on Canuck Clay's content because he makes awesome, awesome content.
Appreciate that, Trev. So here's the thing. I know we're going to get into all this. To me, the two big storylines are, and you kind of touched on one of them, just the Stars came to play, but that's because of John Cooper, the way he tweaked the line. So I think that's one big storyline. And I don't know about you. I don't like Binnington when we play against him when he's a St. Louis Blue, but I don't blame him for that comeback because 2 of the 3 goals, you can say all 3 were scrambly defensive Canadian coverage, and one goal, the second goal, he didn't even have a stick. The other 2 were point blank. Like I'm not blaming. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Honestly, I know. I look at the chat, Trev. I know a lot of people are worried about Binnington, but you've gone this far with him. You're not going to put Adin Hill in for the gold medal game after riding Binnington 3 games. At least I don't think so.
Wow. Yeah, I can understand why fans are panicking, but you're right. You're right. There is no panic to be made here on this thing because at the end of the day, this has been incredible. It's been incredible hockey. It's high-level hockey. The goals that were scored, that one, it was top shelf. Like, what are you going to do there? Like, it is what it is. And while I'm talking, it just tells me that they're having trouble streaming to X. Stupid thing. Okay, let's edit it. Okay, we're saving the changes. We're going. We're trying it again. Okay, so what is with this thing? Okay, but I do agree. I understand why fans will be frustrated and upset about Binnington. I've made videos saying we picked the wrong goalies. Now, listen, if we win on Thursday, we picked the right goalies. It's just I can be wrong on this, but like I've been saying, I would have rather had Logan Thompson. I would rather have Darcy Kemper. And I would have started Adin Hill personally, but I'm not the coach. I'm just a fan.
Yep. Me too.
So I don't know. Like I'm not, I know when I come on here, I try not to act like an expert, but I like to share my opinion. And I think it's okay that people are in the chat sharing this kind of thing. That's totally fine by me, but I think I'm with you. I can understand why they're panicking. I'm just not there. I mean, he played good enough to win the game. That's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah, and speaking of goaltending and being a fan, so my son Sean and I, Trev, we were saying before the game, either we want Lankinen to get lit up because we want Canada to win we're more Canada fans than Canucks fans. I wasn't worried, and he actually did get lit up. I'm not worried about his confidence. I'm not worried that it's going to wreck the Canucks playoff chances. Today I wanted them to light him up, or in a weird sort of way, the only other acceptable option to me would be Lankinen blanking the Canucks, Canada today, then blanking the U.S. in the final on the third, and then that's the only good thing that would have come out of that. But no, I wasn't surprised that they chased him from the net, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about some of the lineup changes in regards to the lines today. What were your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I loved it. Originally I thought Marchand was actually underused in the USA game. It's chicken and egg, right? He only played 10 minutes on Saturday night. Is that because he wasn't playing well, so they didn't play him more? Or he didn't get to play, he didn't get to show his wares because They were behind, and he was considered a bottom 6 guy. So I wouldn't have minded actually if it was McKinnon and Crosby with Marchand, just to try and reunite the Nova Scotia guys. But the way they did it today, I thought it was great. You had you had McDavid playing with Point, so a guy who can match his speed, and then Reinhart with them. No, it wasn't Reinhart. Sorry, it was who played with. I know Reinhart played with McKinnon and Crosby, right? So who played with McDavid and Point then?
Was it Marner?
No, Marner got dropped to the third line. Oh, Stone. Right. Sorry. It was McDavid, Stone, and Point.
Yes.
Which
I thought was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Point can match McDavid's speed, and you saw it, especially on the first part of the game. And then you're never going to split up Crosby and McKinnon, but to put, to have Reinhart with them was fine. And then that basically means Marner was the one who got bumped down because Point got bumped up. Marner gets bumped down with the 2 Tampa guys in Cirelli and Hagel, and that was fine. And then your fourth line of Marchand with Sam Bennett. And I'm not sure you caught it, Trev. They made a point of saying they showed when Bennett punched when Bennett punched Marchand in the playoffs last year, and that was a big deal about that. But Marchand said, I've done a lot worse in my career, so he's fine and playing on a line. All to say, up for 54 minutes of the game, they look like perfect lines. And I love the way they basically shut it down. If you didn't watch the last 6 minutes of the game, that's a 4-0 game with Finland didn't even have a sniff. So I thought the lineup changes were great. And then of course Makar. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll let you. This is your show, but
no, I want to hear from you.
I'm happy that Cale Makar is Canadian when it comes to this. Obviously, we're for our lifetime, we're going to have this Hughes versus Makar debate. And I contend if it was the other way around, if Makar was a Vancouver Canuck and Hughes was a Colorado Avalanche, we'd be singing Cale Makar's praises because there's a right shot D from Canada, right? We end up having the left shot D from the States, who's our franchise player. But I don't get sick of it, but they sure love to sing Makar's praises on the on the broadcast because it's from Canada. I get it. And look at the impact he makes when he's on the blue line. He just makes their blue line that much better. The exact same thing they could say about Quinn Hughes for the U.S. team, obviously. So all in all, I thought lineup changes were good, and it was Harley only played because he was injury replacement. You get Sanheim back in, and you have 3 solid pairings of Makar, Taves, Morrissey, Parayko, and Sanheim with Doughty. I thought the lineup was great, actually.
Yeah, and I'll jump into the Makar versus Hughes debate.
Yeah,
because I try to do, as you know, passionate, realistic, honest. And before, I would say it was Makar that was the best defenseman in the league, and Hughes was close. After last season, I'm like, wow, he's in the discussion now. He wins the Norris. But watching them both this year, I'm saying I think Hughes has gone higher. And even watching Makar during this Four Nations tournament, he's great. He's great. But I think Quinn Hughes, watching him, I think Quinn Hughes is better to watch. I think that the States, man, if they had Quinn Hughes, I don't think there where Canada would be beating United States if Quinn Hughes was there on Thursday. That's how good he is. And I know that seems like a real biased comment from me. As a Canucks fan, listen, I get it. But just watching them, Clay, I don't know. Like this is the first time I noticed Makar. And I know he missed last game, okay? But we're talking 3 games in. This is the first game we noticed him. And like first game, I'm like, yeah, he's there. He's there. He wasn't dominant. It was everyone else was shining. He wasn't. Now, granted, we lost against the States. Would have Makar made the difference? That's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
And we don't know the answer to it. Well, we will. We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to it. So I just feel like Hughes is gone. Just watching eyeball test, I think he's higher.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that analysis, and I try and take my bias away. Yeah, Makar won the Stanley Cup. He won the Norris first. I get all that. Then Hughes kind of elevated his game last year. And, depending on how quickly he recovers from injuries, he should win the Norris again this year. So I agree that Hughes is at least equal with him, if not better. But I will say, don't forget, Makar, something's ailing him. Like, obviously, he had to miss last game. So he's probably not 100%. I'm not making excuses, just trying to lay it all out there. And it's best on best. It's not like Hughes is playing against the San Jose Sharks or Makar is playing against the Anaheim Ducks, right? So, yes, Hughes might would make a huge difference for the U.S. But would he be as dominant as we see him on an everyday basis? Probably not, because they're playing best and best. But he would elevate his game as well. So I think we can, as Canucks fans, we can agree that we are blessed to have Quinn Hughes, obviously the best defenseman in our history already, just 6 seasons in. And Colorado's blessed to have Cale Makar. And I'm sure they love their Makar over their Hughes, just as we love our Hughes over Makar, for sure.
And they should. They should.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But they're biased as well, so let's just be honest, okay? Yeah,
we're supposed to be.
So okay, okay. Now you've probably seen my content. What I've been frustrated with, the lack of cheering for this Team Canada because they have players on it that we normally don't cheer for.
Yeah,
Marchand especially, and McDavid. I know people who are saying, we do not cheer. I'm not cheering for Team Canada. And I just think it's ridiculous. And I know that everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You can cheer for whoever you want and for whatever reasons you want. But as a Canadian, I'm having a hard time because, man, I would love it if McDavid was on Vancouver. I would love it. Watching him play, being able to cheer for him fully has been a treat. What is your opinion of that controversy and also watching McDavid?
I'm just tweeting out, come join us. So to my followers on X. Good. Yeah, no, your X is working, which is great. You're streaming live, which is awesome. I'm with you. I saw the start of your stream when we lost to the US. And I know the first thing you led out with was you have no problem cheering Marchand and McDavid. I'm with you. For a tournament like this, if they are showing so much, and they're the ones playing, if Marchand can say, I can play with Sam Bennett, a guy who tried to knock me out of the league last year, if all these guys are saying that they can put aside their differences because of this, the flag, the jersey, then I actually had no problem. I screamed when McDavid scored today, the opening it up. I'm fine with Marchand scoring. And that doesn't make us less fans, Trev. I like to say actually it makes us even more knowledgeable, like a kind of deep-rooted, seated fans. But no, we're not going to compare ourselves to other fans. But I think you and I are on the same page when it comes to this is a 2-week tournament or 1-week tournament where you don't care what hockey team the players come from. You care what flag they're wearing on their jersey. And yeah, I have no problem cheering for McDavid, Marchand for this week for sure. I'll go back to hating their guts next week, but right now I'm fine. I have no problem cheering them. What do you do? I only want Canada to win if McKinnon scores and Makar and Reinhart, but not if McDavid scores. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how people feel regarding this. I know they're very passionate about it, and that's okay. That's okay. But let's talk about McDavid for a moment, just for a moment. I don't know about you, but that stop, spin around, like couple moves of the stick, and banks it off the far post, and I mean, yeah. I don't know if it gets much better than that at an elite level. His speed, his skating, his decision-making is unreal. And what no one will talk about, Clay, which I think is really important, is how he gets back in plays and he disrupts on the defensive end as well. I just really think it's a treat. And no wonder Oilers fans think that they're God's gift to hockey, because they have Draisaitl and McDavid every night to watch. But he has put on a show. And listen, he scored the only goal against the United States. No one else showed up offensively. So you got to give this guy a lot of credit. What are you seeing about him that has just been fun for you to watch?
Yeah, in the U.S. game, after that first goal that was awesome on Hellebuyck, the goal that beat him, I thought the USA did a pretty good job. Like Charlie McAvoy, I'm sure you talked about it in your show. He played him hard, and he didn't give McDavid the space. And I don't think Canada was creating space enough for him. Hence the change to put a faster player with him in Braden Point. But yeah, you're right. That first goal, Trev, there's no one that can do it like that. To try and go in, be smart enough and fast enough to realize that he's got no lane, to curl back, and then to do it again. And then to put a shot that no goalie would save. Yeah, it's a treat, and that's why honestly, I would hold my breath and cross my fingers and pray when every time he would enter the zone against the Canucks in the playoffs last year. Because as much as we hate to see him do well against us, you got to admire just how good he is. Yeah, he was awesome. He was awesome tonight.
Yeah, and the other guy that is just phenomenal, and I know we're just talking about the Stars right now, but we just got to give him some credit because Crosby rarely loses in a Team Canada uniform, which it's now, what is he, in the last 28 games, he's 27-1. And it's just sitting there. And I think for me, I was sitting there going, okay, so McKinnon's come out to play, McDavid's come out to play. And I'm like, I just feel like Crosby's going to do something. And I'm like, I just have a feeling he's going to get a goal or a significant assist. Next thing you know, he gets the puck, passes out to McKinnon. McKinnon scores. Now, I don't know, what is that? Well, 4-0 or 3-0, whatever it was. Yeah. And then when we're panicking, they just scored 3 goals in how many seconds, basically. And all of a sudden, it's like we need something to happen. He has a hit, blocks a shot or whatever it is, and then just fires it on net. Happens to be Crosby. You know what I mean? It just happens to be the greatest player to ever wear a Team Canada jersey saying, no, we're not losing this game. I'm out here. And he puts the nail in the coffin. Tell me your thoughts about Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, no, I ran a little pool, Trev, just with some of my community, and many people picked him to play, not to be the highest scoring player in the tournament, but to be the MVP, just because of all the intangibles that you bring. There's just something about him when he's on your team, you feel like you're not going to lose. And you're right. That assist to McKinnon was great, and you saw how excited McKinnon was to get an assist from his mentor. But then you're right, when everything is going to heck, and you and I were talking just before you press record or go live that Finland was mad because they just scored. They made it 4-3. Canada wins the faceoff, and then they put it down the left boards from their own end of center, and Crosby's actually on that boards, and the referee waves it off like no icing. So saying that either Crosby tipped it or Finland could have played it. It goes behind Finland net. The Finland defenseman puts his hand up like he thinks it's going to be icing. The referee's like, no, play. And then they come into the neutral zone. Crosby rocks Granlund. The puck goes to Reinhart. Then Reinhart flicks it to Crosby, and in one motion, he grabs the puck, puts it down, and shoots it. Actually, wrong hand, left hand. Yeah, so not only did he stop Granlund, who had just scored 2 goals in 23 seconds, so he's the hot hand, he rocks him with the body check. Then he has the wherewithal and the poise to score from center. It was beautiful, and that's why he's Captain Clutch or Sid or whatever you want to call him. Well, you should call him Sid.
Sid the adult.
Yeah, Sid the adult. But just amazing stuff. The intangibles, I'm sure. Obviously we haven't heard anything because we started the show right away. But Finland's gonna be complaining about that. Now it's a big step to go from that should have been icing to now we're gonna score but. They had scored 3 goals in 5 minutes, so who knows? And the crazy thing is, and we talked, you knew this too. Whoever Canada or Finland had to win in regulation, because if they won in extra time and Sweden wins in regulation, then they make it. So it wasn't even, oh no, Canada might lose this game. It's, oh no, it might get to overtime. Like that's the fear. They don't even have to lose the game. They just got to not make it to it was crazy.
Great point. Yeah. That's a great point, and that's what we're talking about. Crosby saves the day, as Bing Bang Warrior says. It's just fact. It's just a fact. And it's amazing to see him just carry this team on his back. and I'm not saying, sorry, I shouldn't say that. He didn't carry the team out, but he was like, and we're not losing this, boys. I'm not getting any younger. We're not going to the final. You know what I mean? And so, okay, let's talk about this, Clay. Let's talk about this. This is the one I wanted to bring up. Okay, so who is watching? Post this in the chat, everyone. Who is watching the U.S.-Sweden game tonight? Even though it's meaningless. Who's going to watch that? Are you going to watch it, Clay?
I have 2 reasons to watch this game tonight. One is named Miller. The other is named Pettersson. I'm just curious. the fact that it's a mean nothing game. Actually, I think something might. I don't think Pettersson's not going to fight Miller, but is Petey going to do one of his patented reverse butt checks into Miller's chest? You know what I'm talking about, the reverse hit. Is Miller just going to go in and look for a fight like he did 9 seconds into the Canada-US game? Just any scrum that Petey's near, he's just going to jump in there like Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I know you know what that is.
That's an old school reference.
I don't know. I'll still watch it. I moved my schedule around just so I could watch the game, and I am interested. US. They're not playing Hellebuyck. They're not playing Canuck, so they're making a couple changes. But whatever. It's still going to be good hockey. I hope Sweden's got to play for pride. If they win, technically, they'll finish in third ahead of Finland, and I'm sure they'll like that. Yeah, it's got to be pride for Sweden, right? And for US, it's just about good habits, feeling confident for their rematch on Thursday.
I wonder if the States start a different goalie tonight.
They are. Yeah.
Okay. So
they're playing Ottinger. No, Ottinger. They're going Ottinger.
Ottinger, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a smart move. Give Hellebuyck a little bit more rest. It's not going to be a big deal.
Yes.
Petey wins by TKO.
Yeah, and some of the comments are pretty funny, Trev.
Absolutely. No way they will fight, but there are going to be some hits. I agree with that. I'm watching for Miller versus Pettersson. I mean, Canuck fans were watching, but if you're not a Canuck fan, I don't think you're watching this game. I don't think. Like, why would you be watching this? Canuck fans might have helped the ratings out,
Put Justin's comment out. Those are pretty funny.
Justin's? Okay.
Yeah.
I got to scroll down.
He's 3 below the one you just put on.
Oh, right. Petey would be on the bench afraid. Daryl, $50 American on Petey for what? To get a hit? Not to win a fight. Come on. Oh, it's personal, he says. Yeah. He sees Miller and will jump off. Justin, that's awesome.
I know Justin is a Miller fan, which is fine. But you watch Justin. Petey's gonna rock Miller, and you'll be, he.
Well, no, but the reverse hit thing is a real thing.
It is.
It's a real thing. I think it's.
Is it legal? Is it okay?
It's technically legal, but when I see it, it looks illegal to me. Like even when Höglander does it, when Pettersson does it, I just don't. I think it's too dangerous. And it doesn't matter who does it. Like take the name off the back of the jersey, whatever. Yeah. It's this. I think it's really dangerous. I think they're gonna start taking it out sooner than later. We'll see. We'll see. USA is definitely resting their guys, and they should. Okay, so Jason's going back to the goaltending thing. Goaltending, I knew goaltending might be our Achilles heel. Wait a minute, Jason, this is not even a bold statement. Everyone was saying our weakness is goaltending, right? But here we are, we're in the finals. I actually predicted that Canada wasn't going to make the finals. It was going to be Sweden and the US. I said US were going to win. And the reason why was because of our goaltending. But Binnington has been good enough. He's been proving me wrong. And I know that you're saying, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope you're wrong too. But let's just be honest. Give him some credit, man. Like we won the game. And I don't know.
Yeah. And remember, I forgot about this. He won his Stanley Cup, St. Louis versus Boston in Boston. Right. Yep. So he's good in that arena. And I'll say it for anyone that joined late, the very first thing I said was, I do not like Binnington. I didn't like him ever since he thought he should win a Calder Trophy over Elias Pettersson back in 2018 or 2019. So I haven't liked Binnington ever since. And I love it when we light him up as Vancouver Canucks. But I haven't watched the replays in depth. I don't do goal breakdowns for Four Nations face-off. But if I did, I'm pretty sure of those 3 that he let in the last 7 minutes, I can't pick one that was his fault. The first one was far post, exactly the same shot basically that McDavid put in on our boy Lankinen. The second one, I don't know how he lost his stick, but I know that he didn't have a stick. That's why the puck went through his legs. And then the third one, you're right, Trev. It was a top cheese, right over his glove, or I can't remember if he's left or right-handed, right up top. Now I do know that they said on the broadcast, and against the USA, they scored 2 of their 3 goals that way. His weak spot is, like many goalies, right between the blocker and the pad, because that's really tough, right? You can't lift your leg that high, and you're not going to play your blocker that low. So that's why a lot of goals go in, far side blocker posting in, because that's a tough gap. So I know that's where the first goal went, off the post. The second one, like I said, no stick. Third one, top shelf. How do you blame them on those goals? I don't. Maybe someone's saying, well, overall, as a confidence booster, not great. 3 goals in the last 7 minutes, but I don't know. I kind of put the blame, and I'm not blaming anyone. We won the game, but there are some defensive breakdowns too, as good as the Canada defense is.
I know the big question everyone wants to answer going into this week now is this: who wins on Thursday in the final, Canada, US? Everyone just post your comments in there. I have no problem. If you're going to say USA, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. If you're going to say Canada, that's fine as well. But here's the thing. Man, it's going to be great. It's going to be must-see TV. I've got some things going on Thursday. I am now reworking my schedule.
Yeah, Trev, I'm speaking at a high school retreat. Yeah, that Thursday. I'm speaking at a retreat, and I'm going to chop my last session pretty quick. Sorry, you were saying about you?
My son is in playoffs, and it is for his basketball. Yeah, that's the only reason I will not be at that watching that game. So depending on what time he plays at, it's going to be interesting. So I might have it on my phone while his game is on and while he's not on the court, which he's
as long as you're not the coach. You're not the coach.
Oh, wait a minute. I am one of the assistant coaches now. So dang it. Okay. Once I get there, I'm not watching the game anymore, and I'll probably not hear from anyone. Yeah.
That's awesome.
My son is way more important than this, but at the same time, I cannot wait for this Thursday game. It's going to be incredible. I'll have to turn off my phone and watch it later. That's exactly what I'll have to do. But man, I can't wait to watch this game.
You know, I get it. And someone said it in the chat, and I 100% agree. I take Connor Hellebuyck over Jordan Binnington 100 times out of 100. 100 times out of 100. But we don't have that choice, Canadian hockey fans. So you either can go into the game praying and hoping that every time Binnington faces a shot that he's going to save it, or you can root him. You can actually cheer for him and say, for one game, you hope that he stands on his head and is way better, prove you wrong, way better. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's the attitude I'm going in with it for sure. We need him. We obviously need him. And there's no second guessing. They're not going to play Aiden Hill in a gold medal game after Binnington's taken them this far. They're not. Am I wrong? What do you think?
I think you have to. If you were going to go Hill, you had to do that today.
Yeah. Yes.
And so it makes no sense to not go there. I know people in the chat are saying it was 5 years ago when St. Louis won in Boston, and that's a legitimate thing, true. But in saying that, he still did do that. Yeah. He still did do that. So you just have to go there now. You have to. It's just like whatever. Now, here's the other thing, Clay, that nobody's talking about is, okay, so we want to blame Binnington against the United States, but we scored 1 goal. Yeah, 1 goal. Yep. It's just like when we went to Game 7 against Boston, and everyone's like, Luongo had some, we never score.
Yeah, help him. Help the guy out. Yes.
So you up front, we've got to play better, and they were great defensively, and so we give them all the credit in the world, right? Boston deserved to beat Vancouver. The United States deserved to beat Canada, but it's one game. Winner takes all is basically like Game 7, and let's go. Let's give our guys versus their guys, and let's have some fun. But a lot of people are saying they want Canada to win, but some feel they think it's Canada's tournament to lose. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see what else people are saying here. I work on Thursday until 5 on Thursday, so I'll be rushing home. Wait, don't get a speeding ticket and don't get an accident. Okay,
drive safe. Yes.
Be smart. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're still going to watch the majority of the game. A lot of people are talking about "Don't Boo the National Anthem." I agree.
Yeah, we'll pass that.
But the Americans could. The Americans could for sure.
They did today. Yeah, they did.
But it was so minor.
It's true. Yeah, and the singer didn't turn it up, didn't help.
Hear it. So Canada is winning 4-3 in overtime. Oh man, that would be awesome. That would be an awesome prediction.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
no Kempner Canucks post-game stream. Not right after the game. I'll probably be doing it in the evening after. I'll probably be around 9:30. So make sure. And I know Clay, he's going at what, 11?
Yeah, I'm late night. Yeah, I'm late nighter. Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'll be on first, and then Clay goes on. So it's a double whammy if you miss it. I'm sure there'll be other people doing a post-game show real quick. Yeah. But you know, there's lots of content out there, a lot of good content. So
who do you think is going to win on Thursday? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm gonna go with the States. And the reason why is that was my preseason prediction, looking at the goaltending, looking that we already lost, and that Bennington is in net. I just think that Hellebuck is going to do his thing. But I think it's going to be close, and I could be wrong on that. And I'm cheering for Canada all the way. It doesn't mean I don't support Canada by having a realistic take. That's my honest take. And that's who I think is going to win. But I hope we smash the Canuck brothers. I hope that they were physical against us too, Clay. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't get to watch. So I saw the start of your show on Saturday. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. So maybe you talked about it, maybe you didn't. I know how much you like JT Miller, and that's cool. What were you thinking when he was fighting Parayko?
I just love it. I love it because why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Like this is, we're going to go back to the IIHF rules, and you can't fight because you get suspended. Like this is it. You got to go for it. They all planned it. We're all going for it. But it's like, but JT, I appreciate your courage, but you bit off more than you can chew. You finally picked a guy that was tough. I mean, we don't really have any fighters on our team. And so the Canuck brothers are like, okay, I'm going to do it. I was like, you're fighting Hagel? And then at least the next one was Sam Bennett. It's like, okay, that's respectable. He's a tough guy, but he's not like a fighter. And then next thing you know, it's like JT's like, I want to get in. He's like, oh boy, JT, you might, this is bad. This is bad. And he tried his best, but he lost that fight, just saying. So,
by the way, I if you can highlight it, Russell is saying a perfect post game would be Nothing is Perfect show. Then you move to Kemper Canucks show. Then you move to Canuck Clay show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of show, but if you can handle it, do it. That's great.
Yeah, because Nothing is Perfect's going to live stream it, right? So that's going to be good. That'll be good for his ratings, for his viewership, all that kind of stuff. He does a great job on the live stream. So
he does.
Did you see though on that JT Miller punched himself in the face?
People have been telling me about it since Saturday night. I have not seen it. I'll look it up right after the show. So, but I heard, did he uppercut himself?
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know if he actually did. It looks like it from one of the camera angles.
Amazing.
And Callum is here saying he's actually going to cheer for Marchand. That's awesome. I'm excited for you, Callum. You need to do that, right?
Yeah, for sure. So
who's going to do triple duty?
Yeah.
Who's going to go all three?
That's amazing. Anyone who does, you deserve some sort of something. Has this tournament exceeded your expectations, Trev, or is this what you kind of expected, honestly?
No, I expected this. I totally expected this. This is exactly like when people are saying it's going to be pond hockey, it's not going to be very entertaining. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like you're looking at all these super competitive guys. This is not the All-Star game. This is you putting the crest on. You're representing your country. This is going to be incredible hockey. The fast pacedness of it and the hitting and the defensive efforts are unbelievable. And so I've enjoyed every game that I've watched. Doesn't matter which teams. I mean, you got the four, minus Russia. Czechia is pretty good too. Czech Republic. They're pretty good. I don't know. I know we're missing those guys. It would be better if they were here. But the four teams that we got, it's like, wow, this is impressive.
But you're right. Yeah, it's a good point because next year's Olympics, then you 12 or 14 team field where 4 to 6 of them shouldn't even be there. And then 2028, back to World Cup of Hockey where it's not just NHL players, but majority obviously are. But then, and they're going away from the gimmicky teams, right? No more Team North America, 23 and under, no more Team Europe. So you're right. It will, if Russia, depending on the geopolitical scene, then you have, Czechia with, and our two Phillips might make the team, right? Hedel and Hronik. And then I think Germany with Draisaitl and all those guys. And then the Swiss are good. And then I guess Slovaks are always good, So there's like I could see 5 teams vying for those next 4 spots in the World Cup if they go to 8 teams for sure. But yeah, you got to find a way to get all the good players in.
Clay, you got to tell us, who are you picking, Canada or USA?
I'm going Canada only because I have to. I can't just change it from my own pool entry. I would not be surprised if the U.S. wins, but I want to cheer. I always like to cheer for the team that I pick, just so I'm not like, not that you're doing this, but it's for me. I'm not hedging, like I'm saying, oh, at least the U.S. won, so I was actually right. Haha. No, I actually think, and I want, and I think Canada will win. I think that they're going to outscore any goal. I'll say it right now. There's not going to be a goaltending issue on Thursday night. I think it's going to be close. I would love it to go to extra time, like a 3-2, 4-3 type thing. That would be so exciting. Wow.
Okay, so in that, I got to bring this up then, because
Yep.
if Canada wins, okay, if
Yep.
Canada wins,
Yep.
does Bennington start for Canada in the Olympics next year?
I would respectfully say it's too early to say so. I really do. He's obviously going to do his. He's going to help his case if he wins. But by that time, what happens if Logan Thompson continues to be amazing this season? What happens if another goalie rises? So he'll be in the mix for sure. Like, there's no way he won't be in the mix for the top 3. But I don't think you guarantee him the starter. Yeah, there's just too much time between now and then. Truly.
That's the correct answer. It's also the safe answer. It's the positive answer. It's the deflecting answer. And you're right. You're 100% right. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to say no, he's not. He's not going to be the starter, but he will be on the team. And if he's on the team, he may well be the starter.
Like, imagine if the Capitals win the Stanley Cup, right? And Logan Thompson goes crazy. Then he's the favorite already, I think.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
Yeah,
it's really exciting hockey. It's so much fun to watch, and I can't wait for the Olympics. This isn't even done. Okay, last question though, Clay.
Okay.
So real quick, Canucks, how do we finish off the season after this tournament?
Yeah, I know both of our shows, Trev, it's because the Canucks give us so much content, and it feels like I can't speak for you. I know it feels like I'm repeating myself on my show a lot, because when something happens, it's just like a what do you call it? A sidebar or a shoot off of the bigger picture. And to me, the bigger picture is the Canucks made their team faster and more harmonious. Miller, addition by subtraction. Marcus Pettersson, they addressed their biggest need on D. Their biggest need on the team, which was defense. And then I think they're a much faster team to play against. So more speed, better D. That sounds good. I do think they got to make a change or two in their top 6. They need more scoring. And obviously we need Pettersson to get going. I know you've been on that train for a while, and I would agree with that as well. But I certainly like the fact that they're 6-1-1 in their past 8. I like the fact that this 2 weeks gives Demko and Hughes a chance to heal. So I see them potentially catching the wild card 1 spot more than I see them catching LA for the 3rd spot in Pacific. So all you're doing from going wild card 2 to wild card 1 is you're avoiding Winnipeg, and now you're facing Vegas or Edmonton in the first round. I don't know which one you want more or least, but I fully expect them to make the playoffs in either the 2 wild card spots. How about you?
I said once we traded Miller away, we're not making it.
Okay.
But after watching them play, by the way, it's not, in my opinion, and I don't mean to criticize you, but I push back when people say it's addition by subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
It was subtraction, and then it was addition. If we didn't get Marcus Pettersson and we didn't bring up EP 25, I don't care what happened. Like, you know what I mean? Right. That was, it wasn't just that we quote unquote got the toxic guy out of the locker room. It was that we picked up Marcus Pettersson and EP 25, and we fixed our defense. So that's, I know you probably agree with that.
That's fair.
But I am now switching. I think we have a legitimate chance at making the playoffs. I'm just not confident at this stage, but I like that we're in the playoff spot right now.
Right. Yeah, we made up 5 points on Calgary in 2 weeks, which is awesome. And I will say, not to make this a mutual admiration society, but I do agree The Rangers trade alone, you're right. You're 100% correct. That is not addition by subtraction because Hito Mancini for Miller, that doesn't do it. But when you tack on the second trade and the extension, we got to remember that's a key point of this. Is Pettersson is now extended? Then I think that's a more fair comment. But for me, my comment, but your comment is indeed correct. The Rangers trade alone did not do it. I agree. I agree with that for sure.
And I know you got to go, Clay. So I want to thank you so much for being here, talking about this must-win game, this humongous victory. It got stressful at the end. It was glorious until the end. And then all of a sudden it's like super stressful. And then we win and everyone's happy again. But thank you so much for being here. Everyone, please follow Canuck Clay. He produces really great Canucks content. Love his stuff. I watch it. I watch so much of Clay's stuff myself.
Poor guy.
And I'm a big fan. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Trev. And just before I go, I know you guys already subscribed to him already because you're watching this show. But everything Trev said about me, flip it back. Trev's doing great. He's grinding, not just the live streams, but other spontaneous videos. He actually does spend time making intros and outros, something that this guy doesn't do. So keep on supporting him. He's doing really good work, and we got to get behind all the Canucks content creators, especially in a year where it's been so much drama. We've had a lot to talk about, but we're going to make the playoffs, and all our channels are going to benefit because of it. So thanks, Trev, for having me, man. Keep up the great work.
Thanks so much. All right, everyone. So I'm going to do some questions. So you guys can do questions for me I'd prefer if it was about Team Canada. I know we just did that stuff regarding the Canucks, but if we could, let's just keep it to Team Canada today. Let's talk about the defense. I thought Taves looked really good today. I love Doughty on this team. Sanheim was fantastic. Parenko, again, another great game. What are you guys thinking about this Canada defense? I think we give too much information regarding Binnington. So, like, at the end of the day, our forwards and our defensemen are so stinking good. What are you guys thinking about the defensemen? I know there was a lot of controversy about when Pietrangelo was out, not going to be able to come. And a lot of people was like, I don't know if this team's going to be able to do it. But there's so much Canadian talent in the defense. I know the States have a really good defensive core as well. What did you guys think? Post it in the comments. And you're right. U.S. played really good and shut down Canada. Their defensive game was excellent. But Alfred, you're right. Defense was great, more complete than they were against the U.S. I thought that was an incredible opportunity. Which defenseman, obviously having Makar there is just helping us get to another level, right? And so I know that Stuart Baker is excited about Canada. He's pumped. He's predicting a 4-2 final for Canada over the States. But Mark, I want to hear from you. Defense was a lot better. We picked up and cleared those loose pucks a lot better in front of the net. That's so true, Mark. You're 100% true on that. It's really awesome. Really awesome to see them playing as a cohesive unit and tough. They don't allow a lot of great opportunities. And so, but this is a fair comment, right? I think USA defense is slightly better. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, a sick Makar up is still a huge upgrade. It's going to be interesting to see. Like, is Makar going to be the difference maker on Thursday night? And I know that. How can you say that one player, can they really jump in and do that? I'm not sure if he can. I don't know. You know what? Maybe he can. People claim he's the best defenseman in the league. We would argue that as Canucks fans. We think that Quinn Hughes is better than Makar this year and last year. But let's just say, argument's sake, 1A, 1B, doesn't matter which one you have there. That's still a huge upgrade. You're right, Russ. You're right. So, excuse me. Calvin says they clogged the middle and kept pressing them with more than one guy on the puck carrier. They kept the play to the outside or dump it. That's true. That's true. I think you're talking. Are you talking about the States when we played them, or are you talking about Canada today? What are the keys to victory if we can't totally depend on Binnington? I think it's this topic we're talking about. It's definitely about team defense and especially our defensemen. If our defensemen can play a bit better than they did, we're good. But I mean, it was a 2-1 game, everyone, and then they scored an empty netter. So no, wait a minute. Yeah, it was the empty netter. So let's be honest on that. So that's my thing. Yes, Hughes is better than Makar right now, this year and last year. Oh, you're regionally blocked from the USA game? Wow. That's disappointing, man. That's disappointing. Hate to admit this, but I really love watching both of the Canuck brothers creating chaos and Midland. You know what? I do too, man. I love their style of play. That's why I like JT Miller so much. He reminds me of those guys. Those are the power forward type players I love to watch. That's why I love Todd Bertuzzi. He created problems, was a menace out there. Tough as nails, wouldn't back down for anything. Got into the dirty areas, would lay a hit, had offensive skill. That's when I think of Tkachuk. Then what's wild about the States is they got the Tkachuks and Miller on the same line. Like, talk about playoff style hockey. That is what that line worries me against Canada on Thursday. That's just my real. So I'm with you. I get it. So, Soul Search, I have not heard what Makar's issue is. Does he have a physical injury? Is he under the weather with the flu? I'm not sure. I think other people in the stream will be able to answer that. So post it in the comments, everyone. I think it was more flu type stuff. I think that's what it was. Because how would you bounce back so quickly? And maybe the rest, like, I don't like it. The game's not until Thursday now. I wish it was on Wednesday. But I'm just at that stage where it's like, wow, like that rest might be good enough for Makar to get better. You got all the medical staff there helping him out, but get some rest, get some opportunity. The beginning of the USA and Canada game felt like the Mighty Ducks 2 movie, Bash Brothers. Oh yeah, it totally felt like that. So Calvin said, and the Canucks game, that's why I watch Russ's stream and your scenes. The only way I can get my info. Wish I could see the whole game. Wow, that's frustrating. Calvin, what province are you watching this in? Is it, you must be in Alberta? Because, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it was a flu. Okay, that's good. So having that stuff is amazing. It's amazing that he gets the rest, right? Rest. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think Thursday is going to be, I mean, it's must-see TV. Obviously, Calvin, I'm not trying to rub it in here, but you're in the middle of BC. How in the world? So, middle of BC, dude, I can't imagine that you can't get this game. You must not have Sportsnet? I don't know. Anyways, 3 hours from PG. Okay. I get it. Okay. I used to live up there in the Caribou, so I understand. I'm saving the Tuca Destiny for Canucks playoff games exclusively. Oh, okay, that's good news. Callum, I'm excited. Was the game versus the US on Saturday more that Canada played bad, or US played really good? Well, we're about to find out, Ryan. If Canada wins, the answer is that the US played really good and Canada played really bad. But we're going to find it. So Calvin doesn't have cable. Okay, well that's a challenge. I bought Sportsnet and it's blacked out. Oh, that's disappointing. Try watching it in Australia. That's what Bing Tang Warrior is saying. Come on. You want to feel bad for someone. I wonder if Murray from New Zealand gets it, But Thursday's going to be unbelievable, everyone. It is going to be unbelievable. And let's give some props to Canada versus US for advancing to the finals. I think that Finland is a solid team. We made them look like they weren't, but boy, what they did at the end, the United States destroyed Finland, but I don't know. I think Sweden and Finland were both admirable opponents. They were good. So let's give them some credit, guys. Would you expect Canada to go to the finals? Yes. I actually predicted Sweden versus the United States, so I'm glad I was wrong about that. So glad I was wrong about that. This is a massive win for us, everyone. But yeah, congrats to both of these teams. But these teams are absolutely stacked. You could make B teams of these two nations and still do very, very well. Like the guys that were left off of these rosters were unbelievably good. So let's just give both teams some real incredible credit. Real incredible credit. All right. So excited about Thursday night. What time is Sweden versus US game in on BC time? It's at 5:00, and I'll just put it here. I've got it right here. So you'll see it right here, 5 p.m. Sweden versus USA. That's the game that some people are going to be watching. Not all people will be watching. Now that it's literally a meaningless game. Canucks fans are going to be making this worth watching. It's the PD versus Miller stuff. So I have to go out tonight. I got to practice for my son's team. I'm an assistant coach on the senior team now. I was the head coach of the junior team. So yeah, so that's what time it's at. It's time it's at. So I'll have to put it on the record. So thanks a million. Thanks to you guys, Russ and Clay, and everything y'all do. Without you, I'd have nothing but boring highlights that the NHL does. They are so bad at it. Yeah, I mean, I wish they showed a little bit more. I like that there's like 13 minutes of highlights instead of like 30 seconds of highlights. So that's one thing I like about the NHL and their YouTube channel or wherever you can find the NHL stuff. You might just go online there. So depending on how you view this final game, it's going to be one of the most talked about games for generations to come. Agree or disagree? I agree. This is a very, very important final game. Absolutely. Thursday's final. Looking forward to it. It's going to be must-see TV in my opinion. So, speaking of which, let's bring these down here. Let's bring these down. And let's talk about the game here that we just watched. I'm going to bring this up. I want to talk about the goals here from this game because we talked about the McDavid one, right? So here's this. McDavid steals the puck here. Okay, keeps it in, cuts back, turns around. Look at the little stick handling and fires it off the thing. That's amazing. But this one was pretty impressive too because it's in the top corner here where Hengel and he gets it over, and then all of a sudden Reinhart gets that little pass to McKinnon, who fires it, beats Lankinen. We didn't talk about Lankinen getting lit up like a Christmas tree here. 4 goals, I think, and then they put in the other goalie, Saros. But then this Lapointe goal was one of my favorite ones. McDavid goes down. Look at what a pass. Not a pass. Yeah, what a pass to Sanheim. Okay, but then cleaning up the garbage. He brings it from his foot to his stick. Again, let's just watch that again because it's hard to see. So McDavid's using his speed going down, and let's just stop it right here for a second. You see that right here that Stone actually takes out the defenseman, but Laine, I'm kind of surprised he didn't go after a player here. He tried to get there, but look at that pass. That pass right there. But then you've got that pass to Sanheim there is unreal. Unreal. And then Laine just stops. This is the thing. They say he's a lazy player, all those things. I don't know if he is or isn't. I'm just saying what people say. But the shot goes off, and there, Lapointe keeps going. Lapointe is of a very good hockey. Stanley Cup winner, key guy to the success, one of the key guys to the success of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Literally puts it on his foot, goes back to his stick and scores. That is a beautiful goal. But the McKinnon goal, this one is the one I was talking to Clay about, where he tips it in. I think it was Lapointe tips it in, right? But then Reinhart to Crosby, boom, tic-tac-toe. That is a thing of beauty. Now, these are the goals here that I started getting crazy about. They don't have the edge goal visualizer for that one. Let's go to the Granlund goal. So they're fighting here in the corner, brings it out, and all of a sudden, Laine all of a sudden comes over to Granlund in the middle. That is a hard-working goal. It was chaos, right? So then he gets another one, and man, has he had a great tournament or what, everyone? He's had a great tournament. You've got Granlund again at the top, comes out, passes it out. What a shot. Like, you're not stopping that. Granlund is, people are like, he's on the trading block. Like, why was he on the, he's old. They don't want to pay him. I don't know. He's a fantastic player. I don't know. And then, of course, the whole Crosby thing here. This is important. And boom, picks it up, gets it, fires it. We're good. I don't know. It's exciting hockey to watch, everyone. It's an exciting hockey game to watch. That's a huge win. It's a huge win. Hits, we out-hit them by 3. They had 2 more block shots. They had 20 giveaways. We only had 16. They only took the puck away 3 times. We did it 2. So that's as even as you go. Face-offs very even. Shots on goal even. But we were dominating them this whole time. So interesting, isn't it? It's absolutely interesting. Okay. What kind of pass was that? I think are you talking about the pass to Sanheim? I don't know. If you're reading it and wondering, I was talking about the first goal. Okay, sorry. So the first goal was this one. Let's bring it back up. I want to just quickly see it again because Calvin brought it up. First goal. So this is, what do you mean? What kind of pass? Oh, that one. You're the defenseman. Oh, no, it's not this one. You're talking about this one here, right? First goal. Oh, that pass. I know. Hey, I was happy for us, right? Awful pass by the States. Got to capitalize on those bad passes. Good way picking that out, Calvin. I rewatched. I was shaky early, but I slowed down once the nerves came off. Okay. You'll do better next time. Okay. Yeah, everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. We're at an hour. It's just been fun hanging out with everyone. We're going to call it a day. 199 people in here. That's just awesome. Really appreciate each one of you being here. Great game, big win. Thursday night, must-see TV, everyone. I cannot wait for the final. I was going to say game 7. And yeah, so it's good. I'll never not subscribe to you, Rev. Oh, awesome. So you must be following me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on, YouTube. Of course, you're already there. So yeah. Anyways, appreciate you all. Have a great day. And we'll see you on Thursday night. I think I'll be streaming at 9:30 on Thursday night, but who knows? I might do it earlier. Stay tuned, everyone. It's going to be great. Of course, always, we're going to cheer on this team. Go Canada, go, right?
Wow.